ない言葉、幸福に生きよ。それも無理はない。幸福に生きよという言葉は、鮮烈な、ほとんど圧倒的とも言える印象を残す。だが、この作品と長く向き合ってきた中で、私は別の読み方を提示。
兄さんはいなくならないって証明して。代償もなく願いを叶えられることもありえない。いずれ去る時に必ず言霊で心をねじ曲げることになる。あなたは今何色ですか？知らない。
宇宙人未来人超能力者がいたら私のところに来なさい。宇宙人未来人
テレビアニメ「涼宮ハルヒの憂鬱」はご覧の時間で放送スタート。
ただの人間には興味ありません。
Hello, and welcome back to Sakura Musubi. Let's get started with today's read-through. One thing about this is I'm reading this while my GPU is translating the whole Apollo crisis. I figured it out how to do that. So once that's done, we're going to go back to Apollo crisis. The way I used to do translations is I have like an LLM read it line per line, but now I figured out how to do it, like have it read the whole thing, you know, and it could do an editorial pass and all that sort of thing. So, and re-inject it. So essentially it's making a patch. So that's cool. But like One thing I'm gonna say is I'm not gonna release that patch. I feel like if I did, Visual Arts will try to kick my ass. So I don't want to go any further than that. But it's all I can say. It's very easy to do. There is a GitHub repo called Galtrans, like GALTRANSL, and you just need that, and you need Claude. Maybe you need a subscription of Claude Code, and then fucking some access to some LLM that does the translation for you and the proofreading editorial. Just tell Claude to just translate it for you. It does point it to the repo and does everything for you. So that's all there is to it. There's no programming involved. The only thing that you need to watch out for is like doing some quality checks to yourself. But other than that, like I didn't code it. I just let Claude vibe code the entire thing, and I just been doing other stuff. Anyway, let's get started with Sakura Musubi. That was a long ass, totally different thing. Of course. Wait a second. Did I accidentally? Oh man. I'll be right back. I don't understand a single thing. Give me a second. Okay, my bad. Okay, here we are. Where we're supposed to be. Thanks to the back and forth while shopping and that last squabble, I'm a lot later than I planned. We finished Bongo Hunt before 8, so it's probably around 9 right now. Not that there's anything waiting for me at home, except preparing bat and locking up. An hour's change in schedule isn't going to make much of a difference. It won't, but whoa there. I tripped hard. I barely managed to keep my balance. When I looked up, only a deeper darkness stretched out before me. The simple cliche phrase, "This is what you get in the countryside," comes to mind. A country road at night, with hardly any streetlights. The word countryside seems to justify it somehow. But you don't see this sort of thing much these days. I wish the officials would show this place even 100 at the consideration to show the shopping district. Well, still, my beloved home is in the most depopulated area of Sakura Gaoka. So I'm not about to make selfish demands like developing the whole area. This isn't the kind of town where you need to worry about dangerous night roads. And I can't imagine anyone being weird enough to attack me. It's just that behind me, at least within a few dozen meters of here, is where Sakura and Momiji live. Momiji in particular goes back and forth to my house a lot, so it'll be a problem if they didn't at least install some street lights. Although I never say it, it's obvious she's scared, so I make sure to walk her home if it gets even a little dark. When I look back, a light is still shining from the entrance of the Akino house. Is it for Shizu-san or an Kikuyo-san, or coming home late? Or is it for me, walking down this dark road? Whatever the real reason, I found myself feeling a strange sense of relief at the sight of that faint glow in the distance. Still, they could at least put in some streetlights. Not being able to see what's ahead is really unsettling and very frightening. It has absolutely nothing to do with my courage or guts. Man, just over 100 meters left until I'm home. It's getting cold. I should hurry home. With that excuse of a monologue as my cue, I carefully but surely quicken my pace, making sure not to fall again. By the time I locked up and took a bath, the date had already changed. Time just passes by, meaninglessly. At this point, when the day has become completely wasted and is beyond recovery, that's what I think. It's been like this every day lately. Go to school, shop for dinner with my son and Jimmy, and have a nice meal with my imoto. I've been living this life for years, and I'm even aware that I'm happy, and yet, maybe it's what they call sentimentality. I recall my conversation with Momiji in front of the school gate. But even if that were the case, what lingering attachments could I possibly have to that place? At least for me, I had nothing left, unfinished. No memories to protect. In fact, I even wish they'd just let me graduate already. Once I graduate, then what will happen? So out of character. In the end, I just scoffed. That was the only thing I could do. Flutter, flutter. White crystals drip past my nose. Flutter, flutter. Silently, yet fiercely. One after another, they fall, as if to consume the ground, the world. Yuki. Yeah. This is, if you look closely, it's faintly red. Sakura. I was standing alone under a particularly large, fully bloomed sakura tree. Flutter, flutter. The pale pink petals falling silently in the dim world are like, hey, did you know? Hey, shiteru. There's a dead body buried under the sakura tree. Flutter. And that's why it's so red. Hey, Kei-san. Momiji, who was walking ahead of me, as usual, tugging me by the sleeve, turned around. Did you do the math homework? I forgot it even existed, let alone whether I've done it or not. Just as I thought, you got called on first thing yesterday, and then you just had your head down the whole time. Soyeba, I feel like something like that did happen, or maybe not. Since I apparently fell asleep immediately, my memory is so hazy. I'm not even sure if it really happened yesterday. Wait, let me adjust the BGM. It's so loud. Why is it so loud? Okay, I think that should be good. Anyway, since I apparently fell asleep immediately, my memory is so hazy. I'm not even sure if it really happened yesterday. If you knew, don't ask. Or is this the part where you offer to let me see yours? Don't ask when you already know. She laughed without a hint of apology, then turned and started walking again. It seems she didn't have any particular reason for asking. What a meaningless conversation. And though, if you ask me what a meaningful conversation is, I wouldn't have a clue. And it's always like this anyway. What were we talking about yesterday morning? Was it about class or breakfast? I have a vague memory of thinking the same thing then, too. After we talked about all of that. Since there's something wrong with me, if I can't even remember what happened a day ago, does that mean I'm living a life completely devoid of substance? Well, whatever. As I mumbled to myself, Momiji turned around with a puzzled look on her face and said, "Kei-chan, did you wash your face?" "Huh? Of course I did. Is there something on it?" Yeah? But maybe you should wash it again. You look sleepy. Just like always, she added with a smile before turning away again. She smells nice. It's too mild to be called mint, yet it's fresher than the other girl's scent. It's a very pleasant smell. Shampoo, soap, perfume. I never asked what that scent is, but I wonder when it started. Momiji started smelling so nice like this. Noticing that Momiji was about to turn around again, I hurriedly started walking too. It's not like I just noticed this today or yesterday. It's hard to just come out and say, you smell nice now. Actually, I feel like I was thinking something similar yesterday or the day before too. Jeez. When Momiji turned around for a third time, she was pouting as if she was annoyed by my pointless thoughts. But no matter how close we are, there's no way she could know something so specific. Could it be that I was unconsciously twitching my nose? If she's that energetic, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Kasan said she'll be back at lunchtime if she can. Huh? Oh. I haven't even thought about it until she mentioned it. And yet the moment I remembered, I started to worry. What a pain. Mendoksa. Still, I can't exactly turn back now. No way. You're not thinking of leaving early, are you? No, of course not. But now that you mentioned it, I did think about it for a second. About how, once upon a time, I used to think that was only natural for Sakura's sake. I wasn't thinking about Sakura. It's not like she's particularly bad today or anything. She was sick for the first time in a while yesterday, and she seemed a bit sluggish this morning, so we made her stay home just in case. She insisted on going, and based on how she was last night, there shouldn't have been a problem, but it was a family consensus, just to be safe. That's all. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Being late, leaving early, being absent. For Sakura and for me, her Nissan, those things were just part of our daily lives until a few years ago. So I can't really make a big deal out of her missing a day or two now. Especially since it's obvious we were just being cautious. Well, not anymore. I guess I've just gotten used to it. Oh, how reliable you. In that case, promise me you won't leave early unless it's something really serious, okay? No. Sooner had she said it than Momiji happily linked her pinky with mine. I don't even have the energy to resist anymore. Why is she so fond of this childish promises? I think that every time I link a pinky with her. I think that every time I link pinky with her, my pinky with her, but I still haven't found an answer. And so these little promises just keep getting made and piled up. Just trivial things that don't really matter, almost like a daily routine. I suddenly remembered. Our conversation yesterday morning. I made a promise just like this to go shopping with her. Even then, I was thinking about how nice she smelled. I always respond to words in the same way, getting carried away, being pulled along. Because it somehow makes you feel good. Because it's become second nature. Maybe that's why I can't even properly remember what happens day to day. Nah, Momiji. But no, that's precisely why. Piggy swear, what is it? That's why I find myself thinking about it at odd moments. You smell nice. What would it be like for the things I take for granted? What would it be like for Momiji to disappear? Just talking to myself about things that are out of character for me and things I can't possibly understand right now. Sentimental things. Even though I know I'll just bury it in my daily routine and forget about it soon enough. You're weird. Let's wash your face, okay? Giggle. Fortunately, it seems my thoughts didn't show in my face this time. Swinging her small body, Momiji lets go of my sleeve and, let's go. It'll be terrible if we forget our homework and we're late. This time, she grabbed my hand directly and started running. Even though I know it's important. Her innocent smile as she looked up, the faint scent wafting on the cold wind, and the warmth of our intertwined fingers and palms. This collection of trivial things that will vanish without even becoming memories is my daily life. Oh, sweet, you really are half asleep, aren't you? And that's why this is my everything. At her smiling face as she looked back, I thought something so out of character for me again, and you're just needlessly energetic. In the end, as usual, I found myself chasing after her small back, being dragged along. You two are unbelievable. Dashing together at the last second, and then this? Sorry, Sarah-kun. King-chan is just so slow at running. That's not the issue here. Honestly, there wasn't even a moment to spare for washing my face. I have my complaints, but given the time constraints, I decided to just keep my mouth shut and get to work. For all their talk about relaxed education, making us do math first period is just ridiculous. Well... Kate-chan, where are you at? Just finished question 6. Yay! I love you, Kate-chan. Please keep it up. Just one more question, please. Speaking of ridiculous, this girl who knew the schedule, knew about the homework, and knew she'd be called on. It's the most ridiculous of all for coming completely unprepared. Gomen, Kunihiko. Our Momiji is causing you trouble. Momiji said the same thing yesterday. Our Kei-chan is causing you trouble. She said. He shrugged slightly and gave a faint, not particularly amused smile. New honor students had to wear glasses and be cool and collected. Looking at him, Kunihiko said, I can't help but think such silly things. Gomen, Honto, I do feel bad about it. Don't worry about it. We're friends after all. The expressionless Kunihiko held out 3 fingers in front of me. 3 days' worth of lunchtime drinks. A total of 360 yen, huh? It's a joke. While I was making my petty calculations, he shrugged at me again. We've known each other for about as long as I've known Momiji, but I still can't quite read his jokes. And if he's going to say it's a Joden, I wish he'd stop presenting specific numbers with a straight face. 5 minutes left. For now, I think you should be moving your hand more than your mouth. Well... Thanks. All things considered, he's a good guy. Man, that's a very ancient version of the school bell. I haven't heard that in a long time. Like, the modern version of the school bell is like different sounding. I don't know why. Anyway, the bell is signaling the start of homeroom. Here, you should copy this down and be thankful for Kunihiko's brain and my kindness. rang, and at the same time, I managed to hand the notebook I just finished copying to Momiji and get to my seat. For someone who only did half the work, you're sure acting high and mighty, Kei-chan. Well, I mean, I didn't need to copy it. It's almost impossible to be called on 2 hours in a row in math class. The system of calling on students based on their seating arrangement is wonderful in that respect. If it weren't for the problem of being called once every few days, and I'm grateful even without you telling me. Oh, and then as things, I'll copy your notes for you too. The occasional assignment submission that happens at the teacher's whim. It would be even easier to handle. We got caught because of the handwriting last time, remember? I'll just take the thought. And I was the only one who got in trouble. Well, since my notebook was clearly filled with Momiji's handwriting, I guess that was to be expected. It's okay. I'll be more careful to make it look like yours this time. No matter how you look at it, that's impossible. My handwriting and yours are too different. Should I say it's proportional to her childish appearance, or disproportional to her rough personality? Momiji's notebook is filled with neat rows of characteristically girlish rounded letters. It's very pretty and easy to read, but not exactly elegant penmanship. That's somehow approachable. My handwriting, on the other hand, isn't illegible, but it gives a somewhat messy and sloppy impression. I think if I try hard, they won't be able to tell. Like, just a little bit, all wobbly like this. As she said that, Momiji made a strangely sleepy face and wrote some wobbly letters in my notebook. There's no need to imitate my expression, but she really pays attention to the weirdest things. See? You can't tell the difference. I can tell it perfectly. It was certainly a bit more distorted, but there was still a clear difference between Momiji's writing and mine. Maybe it's a difference in our personalities. I was forced to think, much to my chagrin. Anyway, that's fine. We're 50-50 on this. So, it's not like you owe me anything. Besides, it's bad enough that I'm just copying someone else's work, right? You have a hard time cutting corners too, don't you, Kei-chan? Sumari, I'm just a sloppy, half-assed person. And just like the somewhat weak letters lined up in the page. But that's a good thing, you know? Good boy. Good boy. Stop petting me. More importantly, hurry up and copy that down. Okay, arigato, Kei-chan. With a bright smile, she gave me my head one last gentle pat. With that, Momiji finally turned to face her notebook. Honestly, if she keeps dwelling, all her efforts might go to waste. She's so laid back, as always, or something like that. Still, he's unusually late today. It's rare for a homeroom teacher. Who's so dedicated, he'll cut homeroom short if he has class first period to be this late. If this means class will start late, then that's fine by me, but I guess it's not that simple. Hearing the sound of someone jogging down the hall, the chatter that had filled the classroom died down a little. Hey, open up a bit. But as soon as they confirmed it wasn't the teacher, the volume returned to normal. Kunihiko, sitting in the front row, stood up and reluctantly opened the door. Oh, thanks, Kuni-chan. I knew it from his voice, but the person who appeared from behind the door was my bad friend. What the hell is bad friend? Ryoma Harasaki. He was holding what looked like somewhat heavy stack of papers in both hands. Between you and what the fuck? What? Let me actually translate this. Give me a second. What the hell does this word mean? Keigo. Oh yeah, his full name is Keigo. I forgot his full name is fucking Keigo, man. Give me a second. Between you and Keigo. Keigo? Well, we can bitch later. Alright, eyes up here. Ryoma stepped out on the teacher's podium and shouted, then tossed the stack of papers he was carrying onto the desk with difficulty. At a dull thud, everyone's gaze slowly turned into that direction, unless pretty heavy. Butcher, what is that ominous object? I'm about to tell you, so listen up, and don't call me Butcher, Siscon. Whatever you say. Actually, there was something I wanted to tell you. Do something about that pig on your back. I was about to say when. Sumari, the teacher, is absent for some reason. Matt is a self-study session, and we're about to do those worksheets. Is that about right? Kunihiko stood up and silenced me with an exasperated look. Even Ryoma, who's known for being a clown, is weak against this honor student. Yeah, something like that. Family matters, apparently, and since there's no other news, we can skip homeroom. I'll lead the rest of the ïñchó. He shrugged lightly, patted Kunihiko on the back, and sat down on his own seat in front of me. Yo, so, didn't you say a minute ago you had something you wanted to tell me? Do something about that pig. Pig? Ah, you mean the one on the bags? I'm surprised you got that from just pig. Could it be that someone other than me had complained about that pig? What are they talking about exactly? I wonder why they're talking about pigs right now. Go man, but you had to give up. I tried complaining before, but it was no good. It was you? Well, it's not like we're just a butcher shop anymore. I thought we then had to use a pig, but apparently it's been our trademark since we opened, so they won't budge. Okay, so they call him a butcher because his family is a butcher shop. Gotcha. Soyeba, I feel like it's been that design since I was a kid. But the store itself had been renovated twice that I can remember, so I think it'll be fine to change the design a little. Hey, is that it? You said you had something to tell me, so I thought it was something big. Wasn't that enough for you? In that case, let's do something about that stupid grin of yours too. College friendly. Oh, I see. Come to think of it, my mom did mention it. That you came shopping with Momiji yesterday. Ryoma flashed a lewd grin. What the fuck? When he makes that face, it's always followed by some sleazy topic. I bet you were all over each other like always, and that's how the topic of the pig came up, right? See? What did I tell you? How do you get from being all over each other to talking about the pig? I want to hear the details of that impossible scenario. Well, according to my sources, you did something quite embarrassing on someone else's property. Walls have ears. You know, this is why I hate small towns. Does that mean someone saw the, incident? That's one thing for Karen-chan to have seen it. That's awkward for sure, but there's no risk of it spreading. I'm sure she hasn't even told her Nissan, Kunihiko, about yesterday. Oh, okay, Kunihiko's, okay, I see how they're related. I get it. But the Harasakis are a different story. They're both gossip-loving chatterboxers. And since they run a business, they have a ridiculously wide network for spreading information. Let's just calm down, Ryoma-kun. What is it we want? Hey! Did you really do something so embarrassing you can't even tell anyone about it? What a shot, I guess. Grin. What am I going to do with this disgusting smirk? At the top of it all, I noticed that the people in the nearby seats were already working the worksheets that apparently had been passed out. They were more focused than I could have ever imagined from my usual impression of them. Since when were they eavesdropping? You can't let your guard down, whether it's at the supermarket or in the classroom. Even if the name and nature of the place are different, broadly speaking, this is still the same Sakura Gaoka in another Tsunari, a half-baked developing country town. For better or worse, it's the kind of place where people are quick to take an interest in others' affairs. That's a weird reaction, man. Don't tell me. Did you finally go so far you can't even talk about it? Your face and brain are messed up enough. I was just carrying her bags like always. Kinda gonna say, and accidentally kissing a finger is well within the range of like always for us. Tabun. Then why are you blushing so much? And Momiji was so quiet. Being so quiet is super suspicious. So, what really happened? Ryoma's gaze, which had been directed at Momiji's seat, froze unnaturally. Soyeba, it's rare for Momiji not to react to this kind of teasing. Curious, I looked over and... Momiji had fallen asleep, still holding her pen. After telling me I looked sleepy, she goes and dozes off herself. Unbelievable. But still, she's sleeping like a rock. Actually, now that I think about it, isn't it rare for Momiji to be dozing off? It's true, she's not the type to sit through class all serious, but she's not so irresponsible that she's always sleeping. Maybe that sleepy face she made earlier wasn't just her imitating me. I thought she was her usual self this morning, but I wonder if she stayed up late last night for a change. Keigo. I was tapped on the shoulder and turned my gaze back, only to be met with what was probably the biggest grin I've seen in Ryoma lately. When ranked in terms of unpleasantness, that is. I know how you feel, but it's not good to be so aggressive at the start. It's better to ease into it for later. Just cut your stomach open and die already. Whoa. Why? Don't make that face. Like someone who's actually scared would pat my shoulder so casually with such a happy look on his face. Well, it's not like expecting sudden developments from you too, but don't you think you could do something more? There aren't going to be any developments in the first place. Ryoma, you're being too sleazy. But this time, it's Keigo's own fault. If you don't want to be misunderstood, you should refrain from careless actions in public. Yeah! I turned around in surprise, and a list of headache-inducing equations jumped at me. It seemed he went out of his way to bring me the worksheet that had been stuck at Ryoma's desk. Of course, I'm sure this was just on the way. Kunihiko, why are you of all people? Because I'm the Yincho. It seems your voices are too loud, and there are a lot of people who can't concentrate. Yeah. That's not what I mean. Why are you acting like Ryoma? He also has a fucking grin. Thanks to Kunihiko, it seems that not just Ryoma, but almost the entire class is now staring at me. Karen-chan, are you talking about what happened when we were shopping yesterday? With a sigh, Kunihiko gave a slight nod. Not that I heard the details, but she came to me on her own accord to talk about it, and even confirm your relationship status. Oh, you know Karen's invested. So I figured you must have done something incredibly embarrassing. I'm done for. I can't believe that Karen would talk to Kunihiko about something like that. Does that mean our behavior was that conspicuous? So, what's the real story? If it's true, I'd like to offer my congratulations. There's no way something like that would happen so suddenly. I thought as much, but in that case, I still think you went a little too far. I've certainly never seen anyone around here doing the whole say thing. The only time you see it is when a parent is giving a child a snack. But it's not like we're kissing or hugging in public. Well, anyway, this goes for Ryoma, too. But I suggest you keep the letters TPO, time, place, occasion, in mind when you act. TPO? Come on, You make it sound like Momiji and I have no common sense. Ryoma, on the other hand. What do you mean, Ryoma, on the other hand? Unlike you guys, I don't do public displays of affection. Don't just casually throw in the word play when you're just jumping on the bandwagon. I was just getting fed a snack and my finger just... You know. Actually, I don't want to say that out loud, and I probably shouldn't. So it seems I realized that a little too late. No, I mean, you know, it was an accident. It just touched my mouth a little. What's with all these painful and confusing stares all over the classroom? That's why I warn you. I'll say it again, more clearly this time. You should probably tone down the loud, uncultured conversation. I'm not gonna say another word. I just nodded silently in response. After Kunihiko returned to his seat, I spent about 5 minutes just ignoring Ryoma, who was still pestering me. Man, you're so sweet to Sakura-chan and Momiji, but you're so cold to me. Looks like he finally gave up. Ryoma slumped over his desk in the sulk and fell silent. In another 5 minutes, he'll probably be fast asleep. As I took a breath, I realized that the volume in the classroom had gone down at some point. It seems more people are working on the worksheets more seriously than I thought. I thought he was just being sarcastic when he said some of us couldn't concentrate because of our noise. The mechanical sound of pencils from all over made me feel a little left out. Should the unscholarly idiot have just stuck to talking nonsense with another idiot? But if I kept talking to Ryoma, I'm sure I would have really been a bother to everyone else. At times like this, I'd usually be whispering small talk to Momiji, but unfortunately, she's still in dreamland. I guess sleeping with a pen in her hand was too much for her, because at some point she slumped over her notebook. Her small shoulders rise. Oh wait, okay. It translated as sigh. It's her breathing. I took that as like him sighing. They should really use a different word instead of sigh. Anyway, her small shoulders rise and fall with her steady breathing. Momiji's sleeping face, illuminated by the sunlight streaming through the window, looked healthy, childish, and a little cute. Even though we're so familiar with each other, I don't think I can compete with that sleeping face. So for now, I'll just pretend I didn't see anything, especially the massive puddle of drool invading my notebook? Maybe her notebook. Nah, I closed the curtains. I said it to no one in particular and got no response from anyone. I guess that means no one objects. I decided to go ahead with it. I guess it was a little right for her after all. A softer smile than before seemed to be playing on Mobiji's list as she sighed. One notebook is a small price to pay, I guess. I couldn't help but think that. And now that I think about it, she's always seeing me sleep, but I've hardly ever been the one to see her. This is a precious moment, so I'll just enjoy it. Sigh. Sigh. Maybe a better way of saying this, or whatever. As she snored even more, I could laugh at her, but neither her sleeping face and her posture shows any sign of deviation from that of a Tenchi. If it weren't for the drool stains, she could pass for a model in a painting or photograph. Though I guess it's the drool that makes her my Osanajimi. And then a strange sound, somewhere between a sigh and sleep talking, came from Momiji's lips. Is she having a pleasant dream? A completely relaxed, sloppy smile spread across her face. The angelic smile is long gone. And just like that, Momiji Akino, the Bulgarian is complete. What the fuck? But still, just what kind of happy dream is she having? At the sound of her voice again, I could feel a few people around us who were working on the worksheets stiffen. A creepy laugh suddenly echoing through the unusually quiet classroom. Of course, it would pique their interest. Chan. Especially when her sleep talking is becoming clear not to make out the words. Actually, I'm the one who's most curious. The only person she calls with Chan, other than a few of her female friends, is me. Silence. Before I knew it, a tense silence had fallen over the classroom. Is the classroom where everyone seems to be eavesdropping in unison close-knit, or do they just have bad taste? Well, either way, there's a chance for a major embarrassment right in front of me, so I'm not going to let it pass me by. Momoji, wake up! And gently, Momoji, wake up. Dumbledore asks Harry calmly. I gently placed my hand on her shoulder and shook her. Her face slightly lifted, revealing unfocused. What the fuck is this phrase? Sleepy eyes and Kei-chan, darling. Did she say darling? What the fuck? Smile. Hi? I probably ruined my hat from this seemingly... What the fuck? Seemingly asleep? What is this word? When would you even sleep? Seemingly asleep. Seemingly asleep. What the fuck is happening with my brain? Yeah, the sentence is skipping over like that. It's just making things look weird. For the seemingly asleep Momoji, even more quietly than when I put it there. Why would you whisper my name in this classroom with such a happy smile? I can't win. Can I? Because it's too late to wake her up now anyway. There's no point in me interfering now, is there? The sound of pens on paper started up again from all over and spread through the classroom once more. I like how everyone's just listening good. Did they lose interest because I didn't do anything? Or was the situation just too awkward to use as material? This material. Well, whatever. At this point, as long as this precious opportunity isn't interrupted, that's good enough. In the end, I used up the entire remaining 40 minutes of this precious opportunity, the observation of my Osana and Jimmy's sleeping face, and Ohio, Kei-chan. Momoji, who had just woken up by the bell, signaling the end of class, didn't seem to remember a single thing about her happy dream. Kei-chan. Poke, poke. I was woken up by the strangest sensation on my cheek being needed. Ah, you're finally awake. You're finally awake. And we feel wait, I'll be right back. I should. It's been a while since I reading like a VN that's full on. It's just me reading it aloud. It really tires me out more than your usual VN. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Can't remember who read. I remember the finally awake part. In my field of vision, Momoji was looking down at me from an angle. Wait. Okay. Poke, poke, poke. What's so fun about this? She confirmed that I was awake. Even so, the hand toying with my cheek shows no sign of stopping. What? What? What is she saying? Went away my hand to brush it away. This time she starts poking me in the gaps between my fingers. Ah, jeez, you're annoying. Gotcha. I grabbed the finger as she tried to pull it back. Come on, wake up already. Just as I thought, she started shaking the hand left and right. Whether it's her own waking up or someone else's, heck, even when asleep, she's probably always having fun. And that's why she's always smiling. Okay, I get it. What the... You're as pointlessly energetic as ever. Well, I slept a lot at the start, thanks to you. What drooling on someone's notebook, that is. Yeah! That's... well, I'm sorry. As she mumbled that in a fading voice, Momiji turned bright red and looked down. Well, let's just agree to not worry about that, both of us. It's not like I use it much anyway, and more importantly, we're even now anyway. If I consider it, the admission fee for viewing the sleeping phase is cheap. Kate-chan, don't tell me you drool on my notebook. I wouldn't do that. Do I really look stupid enough to do something like that to someone's notebook on purpose? I unintentionally peered at my own reflection in the window. Yeah, trouble is, I do have quite the idiot face. Wait, what are you doing, Ryoma? Just as I thought that, I realized Ryoma had woken up at some point, was looking back at me. Seeming to imitate my movements, he was striking the same pose like a mirror image. Surely I'm not as bad as him. Thinking that, I took another look at my face. And unfortunately, it was hard to call it intellectual. Because my face looked so dull. I felt like the strangely condescending gaze of the girl reflected behind me was also directed at accusing my stupid face. Apparently that wasn't the case. When she hopped up and down with that stiff expression, laughter erupted from the girls around her. Is it some kind of act or an impression? Watching from a distance, I had absolutely no idea what was funny about it. Don't give me that! What are you doing? Staring blankly out the window. Find something interesting? Not really. So, what do you want? I'm telling you, it's not what do you want, it's grub. Grub! Ryoma turned his desk around and eagerly began taking out his obento. I say obento, but it looks like savory pan today. Wonderfully lavish again. It's so wonderful, I feel like I'm getting heartburn just looking at it. Even if he loves them, yakisoba pan, kare pan, korokke pan, and wiener pan. I don't know. I know sausage is wiener in Japanese, but I don't know if to call it like that. Anyway, it is a bit much. Unlike some people, I don't have a sananajimi or imoto to make me a bento. That issue depends more on Harasaki's sense of balance than the presence or absence of a sananajimi or imoto, isn't it? Saying this in a flat tone, Kunihiko sat down in the seat next to Ryoma, whose owner was absent as usual. That's true. Harasaki-kun chose and bought those himself because he likes them. Kore, or Kei-chan. As always, I was presented with a bright smile and a cute bundle with a maple leaf pattern. Domo. Doitashimashite. Well, I can understand why Ryoma wants to grumble. Kunihiko says that, but if I had the environment to choose whatever I wanted to eat, I'd definitely pick only what I like too. Besides, if you ask me, no matter how you think about it, this is a problem of whether you have a well-made osananajimi or imoto or not. It's because it's Momiji, Sakura, and me that this environment exists, and we can accept it from each other. Today doesn't have Sakura's love in it, So it might feel lacking for Nii-chan though. All right, Sakura-chan is absent today. No sooner had he said that than Ryoma quickly opened the yakisoba pan bag and took a bite. Despite saying grub grub, it seems he was waiting, considering the possibility that Sakura might come. This guy is strangely dutiful, or should I say conscientious, in weird places. What? Was your immortal feeling that unwell? I can contact someone to make a house call if you like. You must have thought the same thing. I noticed Momiji laughing quietly at the edge of my vision. This brother-sister relationship seems subtle in comparison, but siblings are siblings after all. Did I say something laughable? Gomen. It's not that. It's just that I've been hearing similar things one after another. Sakura really just decided to play it safe, so don't worry. Is that so? Well, it's nothing serious. That's for the best. Saying that curtly, munch munch. Over there, it's a perfectly normal mixed sandwich. Kuni-chan's looks tasty. Want to swap for karepan? Wait, you hate karepan, right? If it were yakisoba pan, there might have been room for consideration. But surely they stock sandwiches at your shop too. Those ones? I don't really like them. Maybe I'll bring 2 yakisoba pan next time. Unfazed by Ryoma's convertious gaze, Kunihiko picked up one other slice and calmly popped it in his mouth. According to Uwasa, the Sera family's bento are often made by Karen-chan, but I wonder who made today's. I felt like asking just a little bit, but decided against it. Surely this reticent man wouldn't want to talk about his own imoto. Looks like I made them worry about Sakura too. Oops. For all that they tease me about having a siscon and whatnot, they sure have shown a lot of concern from imoto. I guess that just shows how much that child, how much we siblings have worried those around us. After all, if this were to me from a little while ago, surely by now I would be. So hey, siscon, aren't you gonna give us some entertaining material? Like leaving early because you're worried about your imoto? Like hell I will, you perv. You and Momiji both. How long are you going to drag out that old story? I was doing it in all seriousness because I thought it was for the best, so it's not material or anything. If my memory serves, that topic came up half a year ago too. Though you didn't actually do it then. The last time you really left early was 3 years ago, wasn't it? In any case, it's not so old a story that it can be dismissed as ancient history. And there you have it. Now I think I'm finally able to think that the me from 3 years ago was probably out of his mind. But at the same time, I strongly feel that the me back then could only do that, and it was supposed to be for Sakura's sake. Maybe it ain't my place to say as an only child, but you don't put some distance between you soon. It's gonna get tough for both of you and Sakura-chan. Don't you think so too, Kuni-chan? I don't think this issue is limited to just Kei-chan, to Kei. Graduation is coming up after all. We reached that point where we had to draw lines in various ways. Me too, and you too. Kunihiko. I'm speaking generally. That's just what graduation is, surely. However, in your case, since you'd be leaving behind your imoto, the root of the problem, it applies even more. Generally speaking, is that true? Then why use a phrasing that emphasizes the individuals like me too instead of us too? Pursuing this point by point would probably just ruin the mood, and he could easily talk his way out of it, so I won't say anything, but is there really something going on between him and Karen-chan? Oh, what is this town? Or perhaps even after graduation, will you stay shut in at home without working or going to school, just for days like today? Like hell I'd do something that stupid. I know you don't intend to, but if something happens, you rush to her. You stay by her side. For your Imoto, that is the norm, and you want to answer her needs. If so, regardless of your will, you will be forced to do so. It's an extreme argument. But still, I think remaining as you are now means exactly that. Mate, you two, don't bully him too much. Kei-chan is distancing himself from his Imoto little by little, too, right? I appreciate the backup, but stop saying this isn't from my Imoto. It makes it sound like we're constantly clinging to each other. Well, because, look, there's what happened last night. That's what happened last night. So, that was... Just let it slide when she gets a bit clingy once in a while. Ooh, once in a while. Giggle. Of course she'd laugh. That's a lie. Sakura's a spoiled Imoto who snuggles up to me whenever our eyes meet. And I am, as Ryoma Kunihiko point out, an overprotective Oni-chan who just spoils his Imoto exactly as she wishes. But even so, I'm probably not as overprotected as I used to be. It's not like Sakura has grown at all either. It's just that her pace is extremely slow compared to kids her age. Well, that child becomes more of a spoiled baby than the usual when it's you, Kei-chan. She might be expecting you to come home early today, too. On the other hand, as everyone points out, I often feel like Sakura hasn't changed at all fundamentally. Lonely and spoiled. To borrow a phrase from the world, a severe Oni-chan kid. What the fuck is this word? Anyway, that has been true to varying degrees, ever since she was old enough to understand. Surely ever since Sakura recognized the word Oni-chan and its existence. So, maybe Kunihiko's analogy isn't that exaggerated. I do think I need to draw a firmer line somewhere. Yes, I think that, but to push away such a spoiled kawaii no Inoto, who is completely dependent on me, now, of all times, I really just don't think I could do it. Nah, Akino, don't egg him too much. He might actually say he's going home. No can do. We made a promise. Momoji puffs out her cheeks and ostentatiously holds out her pinky. I grab that pinky and shake it left and right, just like she did to me when I woke up. Like I said, even I won't say something stupid like leaving early unless it's something really serious anymore. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not thinking about that anymore. Me. Sounds suspicious. Sakura-chan said, "Oni-chan, come home." Wouldn't you go home? Well, regardless of Kei's will, she does seem likely to say something like that. Yes, exactly. Sakura is the same now in the past, knowing her. I can even say the possibility of her bidding for my return is 0. What was that? Probability of her bidding for my return is 0. Nah. Harasaki-kun is egging him on more. Tada-kun, stop it too. Ah, gomen. I didn't mean that way. Kei says he definitely won't go home, so maybe we should trust him. But this guy has a peculiar criminal record. Wait, hey, why the difficult face? Did you actually sway just now? No. I don't intend to go out of my way to go home. But shouldn't I at least talk to my Sabishi no Imoto as a Oni-chan? Oh man, choices, holy shit! What's the save button here? I'll do a quick save first. What's the... Give me a second, I wasn't ready for choices. Okay, I'm back. Alright, let's see what I'm gonna do. According to... Our Russell's kind of saved. So the same one. I'll call you. They recommend going for Sakura's route first. Okay. Okay, I'll try calling. Okay, try calling. My ability to pick choices. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I should at least make a call. Even if it's nothing serious, spending time alone when sick is lonely. Above all, it would be a lie to say I'm not worried at all myself. Kei-chan, where are you going without your eating your lunch? The moment I stood up, my wrist was firmly grabbed. But I don't intend to break the promise, nor do I have anything to hide. Hey, are you seriously planning to go home? Just making a call. I think she's fine, but she's alone, and she can be a bit of a airheaded. When I told him honestly, Momiji let go of my hand smoothly. True. Honestly, Mama might not be able to make it back, so maybe you should do at least that much. As expected, at the well-made Osana Najimi, she understands. Why is the term well-made? I don't know if that's supposed to specifically imply something, but it's the first time I'm hearing like the concept well-made. What does that even mean? But anyway. And did I just say earlier she was just resting to play it safe? Nii-chan going out of his way to call and check during lunch break because he's worried. Seems like a big deal from my perspective. Oh, rare for you to agree with Kuni-chan. In contrast, these guys, like Kunihiko, I shrug silently and turn my back. Seriously, you get scared when Sakura-chan is involved. Don't get so mad. Here, I'll lend you my ketai as an apology. I silently waved back my hand at Ryoma's offer. Even if it's technically approved, it's technically a prohibited item. I can't very well use it openly in the hallway where a teacher might pass by at any moment, especially if it's borrowed. So I absolutely cannot borrow it. Perhaps sensing my thoughts, Ryoma returned the frustration clicking of his thumb. Furthermore, Mataku. A light sigh as if laughing through the nose, followed by a suppressed laugh. Borrowing a ketai from Ryoma would mean making the call right here. Like I'd let them eavesdrop just like that. Yada yada. Honestly, my brain. However, I guess public phones aren't really a thing nowadays. People don't say it openly, but quite a lot of guys bring ketais. Probably guys like me and Momiji who don't own one, let alone bring one, are the minority. Guest entrance, not that it's anything grand. The Denwa place there all alone looks somewhat lonely. Oh yeah, I noticed that when I watch something, there's always a phone nearby, like the fucking near the reception. That's the reception area-ish. Senpai! Whoa! There it is again. I really shouldn't think about things that don't suit my character. Surprising my jumping heart and the voice about to escape my throat, I turn around. Karen-chan! Don't startle me. Come in. I intended to call out to you normally. Karen shrugged apologetically and bowed deeply. Come in. Raise her head. Now that she mentions it, she's right. Not noticing until it's being called out to. I'm the one who's weird. Thinking about how it stood, all alone, or looked lonely. Maybe I was off guard because of that. 本当にごめんなさい. But please, don't apologize. I didn't mean it like that. Come in. Yeah, I was in the wrong. So you had to bow your head, Karen-chan. What was bowing making the other bow? What are we doing? It seems our thoughts coincided, as we both lifted our faces at just about the same time. Silence. Staring at each other for a few seconds. Without prompting, smile spilled forth. We're even then. Feeling a sort of dazzle from her as she smiled particularly happily, saying that, I returned a smile not to be outdone, thinking inwardly on the one gaining from this smile. Senpai, are you contacting Sakura after all? Not where, but to Sakura. And after all, huh? Oh, am I wrong? Smile. A mischievous yet seemingly perfectly honest smile without a speck of cloudiness. To think this girl is the same age as Sakura, it beats me. Correct. I can't beat you, Karen-chan. I think anyone knows you, senpai, would figure it out easily. Do kana. That is so. It's a wonderful thing. Being a kind Oni-chan who cares for her Imoto in everyone's eyes, Sakura will be happy, surely. Once more, smile. Capable kids follow up perfectly. If only Sakura could be a bit more reliable. Maybe not to Karen-chan's level, but still. Oh no, not at all. You're giving me too much credit. Neither Sakura nor I change much. I wonder about that. In anyone's eyes, putting Sakura and Karen-chan on the same level is definitely a stretch. We really are the same. Whenever I see you and Sakura interacting, I think I'm jealous. If I were in Sakura's position, I'm sure I'd be just as... No, even more spoiled and cause trouble. Saying that, Karen-chan showed a brilliant smile. It was so carefree that the words, in that case, to your Oni-chan almost let out hurt my throat. That the words was... Okay, never mind. I don't know the cause, and they don't fight in front of us, but there's probably an invisible wall between Kunihiko and Karen-chan. And that again, assuming Kunihiko doesn't know about yesterday's incident, based on that logic, got me caught off guard. So maybe it's not reliable. But if I had a girl like Karen-chan in the family, I feel like I'd want to join Sakura on the side being spoiled. No way, I'm definitely going to be the one being spoiled, she answered immediately with a firm tone I haven't heard before. Well, Ma, it's fine. If a girl like Karen-chan wanted to be spoiled, any normal guy would, right? I'm troubled if you ask. Is that how it is? That's how it is. To Karen-chan, who was looking up at me with a troubled expression, I mimicked her smile from earlier. Though I'm probably going to match it. That's the first time a man has flattered me like that. I'm happy. She smiled with a slightly bashful color in her cheeks. Right now, this moment, if she were really my sibling, I probably would have patted her head. But what kind of girl is a girl like me? That's decided. A cute girl. That is, Makara-chan is a precious friend's imoto, and my imoto's taisetsu na tomodachi or some shit. Of course, she's my friend too. Actually, precisely because she's a friend. Never mind. Go in. I seem to have troubled you. I'm sorry too, but I didn't mean it in a bad way, okay? I hesitated a bit to casually call a girl kawaii. I believe you. They're words from a precious best friend, and the precious Oni-chan after all. It probably didn't feel good, but Karen-chan let it slide with a smile, as if nothing happened. She really is a capable child. Tokorode, is Sakura's condition that bad? From what you said yesterday. Remembering the exchange with Kunihiko earlier, I let out a laugh. Karen-chan tilted her head suspiciously. But if I told her your Nissan was saying the same thing, She'd surely dislike it. Gomen, but decided to pretend not to notice her questioning gaze. She's fine. She only stayed home because we made her play it safe. But she's alone, so just in case. I'm relieved to hear that, so it's just the usual Mr. Overprotected then. I'm envious at that. With that murmur, spoken while looking down. Just a monologue, or was it directed at me? Either way, I didn't have the words to reply to her. And she probably wasn't seeking a witty reply from me anyway. She looked up as if pulling herself together immediately. Well then, this nuisance will take the lead now. Her lead now. Please, give my regards to Sakura, she said with her usual smile. Nuisance, you say? Sakura should be able to go out tomorrow, so come play during lunch break again. It's noisy with her too, so you might not be keen on it though. I said that, but I wonder who I'm referring to as annoying. Kunihiko, who she doesn't get along with for some reason, and Momiji, who has some personality clashes with her. Furthermore, maybe because her frivolousness bothers her, she seems to handle Ryoma poorly too. If I ever felt it was annoying, I'm sure I would have told Sakura and decline. Soka. True. Karen-chan might say things clearly and show it in her attitude. That makes her half-hearted attitude toward her real brother even harder to understand. In any case, if you escort me properly, senpai, I don't think I'll feel that way. Escort? Huh? Well, as much as I can. Then, I shall prepare my dress and wait for you. Just then, I thought she stuck out her tongue cutely. She suddenly pinched both hems of her skirt and curtsied. That's so cute. Bro is so in with, he's so in with his girl. No matter how you think about it, it's her version of a joke. But her elegant gesture and the sound of the word dress, I'm starting to lose it. I'm like an LLM, right? You know, seemed like a wonderful combination. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I ended up responding with serious words. Please don't tease me. However, fortunately or naturally, Karacha didn't think I was serious either. Well then, I'll really excuse myself this time. Please say hi to Sakura. Yeah, thanks. See ya. Returning an especially happy smile and a polite bow to my Sia, she went up the stairs right in front of us. Sate. If I take too much time, they'll get the wrong idea again. More importantly, I'll run out of time to eat, so let's just check on her condition quickly and finish. I grabbed a few 10-yen coins I saw and tossed them in. I know it's silly, but being able to press the button so vividly feels a bit good. As expected, the number I undoubtedly use most frequently in my dozen or so years of my life. While immersing myself in that subtle pleasure, the ringtone goes once, twice. Soyeba. Is Sakura sleeping upstairs? 3 times, 4 times. If I wake her up with this, that would be bad. 5 times, 6 times. She's not very good at waking up. 7 times, 8 times. She didn't fall down the stairs while half asleep, did she? 9 times, 10 times. Yeah, surely not. Moshi? Oh no. Oni-chan, right? As expected of my imoto. Sasuga imoto. Even over the denwa, telepathy. Wonderful timing. Yo! Yokatta. Was that surely not? Nothing. By the way, you should answer the denwa faster. I answered right away. I was upstairs, so this is normal. Last night she was sleeping in her room after all. But judging by her energetic tone, she doesn't sound like she just woke up. Unlike her Nissan, she's diligent, so maybe she was studying. Ah, sokka, gomen. So, how's your body feeling? Is it okay? I'm too energetic, so I'm bored. I told you I was fine. I could picture her puffing out her cheeks. I see she's harboring some dissatisfaction about me being made to rest than I thought. Don't say that. We don't want to be mean to you either. I know that, but getting forced into a long-term break because you push yourself here would be the worst. So just endure it for today, okay? Okay. She understands the logic in her head, but she can't accept it emotionally. Contrary to the content, her dissatisfaction was clearly evident in her voice. This is the decisive difference between adult and child, between her and Karen-chan. Don't sound so disgruntled. I'll listen to your complaints later, so hold out until tonight. So you're coming to play today too? Pushing a pouting emoji onto just Momiji. I can't do that, so be a good girl, okay? Hi! A complete turnaround. She's now clearly in a good mood. Maybe I feel it more because I just spoke with Karen-chan, but she really is a child. Kodomo. It's rare for you to come 2 days in a row. Though, as they said, the stupider the child, the cuter, so I don't feel bad about it either. Oh wait, that is a line, bro. Okay. Sesame-chan seems like he'll be nice to me. Maybe I'll take tomorrow off too. You. If you say things like that. Jodan. But you know, I think if Oni-chan and Onea-san come home early, I'll get better faster. Wakata. I'll come home as early as possible. She really needs to grow up. Just a little more. A bit more. Along with her overprotected Nissan, who couldn't help but make this call. After that, relaying Karen-chan's message, being made to promise multiple times to show my face today. By the time I finally hung up the receiver, the 10 yen coins, which must have numbered nearly 10, had completely run out. I don't have much time to eat, do I? On the way back to the classroom, feeling sorry for Momiji, who made the bento, or perhaps thinking about the interrogation by the trio regarding this long phone call, I found myself naturally leaking a sigh. Okay. I think I'll go for like 40 minutes more so we can clock out in 2 hours. Okay. Just saw. Wait a second. Oh no, the translation for Apollo Crisis is still going. It's like wait a second. How did it speed run the wait a second. That was a really fast translation. What the hell happened? Because I was like I went from I'm translating 62 scripts. It went from 18 to 50 when previously it took for each hour it was like 3 scripts per hour. I don't know what the hell happened there. Anyway, let me go back to Sakura Musubi. So a few minutes after accomplishing the contradictory aesthetic practice of hurriedly devouring Momiji's heartfelt bento, while savoring it well in the little time remaining. PE class. Finding the sensation of my stomach shaking heavily with every step. Not to be like Sakura, but if they made me run long distance in a day like this, I'd be in the worst state, likely to collapse. Fortunately, today was supposedly individual practice for the sports festival, so it seemed easy enough to slack off at my own discretion. Kei's just doing bread eating, pan eating race again anyway, right? Can't you exactly practice for that? So why don't you rest while staring at Akino's ass? Setting aside Momiji's ass, how nice would that have been? How nice would that have been? I remember now. Akana went ahead and put your name down for the relay or something, didn't she? So it was decided in the end. That's exactly it. Momiji, seriously, why of all things? The final event, the group relay, that decides the outcome to match. Especially since the decrease in student numbers changed it from 3 grades with 6 classes to only 18 teams, to a 6-class, 6-team system, ignoring grade distinctions. It's the star event of star events. After all, 5 boys and 5 girls are selected from each class. 30 people per team. A total of 180 runners will be running on the ground, passing the baton. I don't know if it's worthy of being the grand finale, but compared to the other events, it's quite a large-scale competition. Tough luck, but hey, it's nothing to worry about. With so many people, you won't stand out much individually. Except for classmates and people you know. You're just senpai gohai on my team to them. I suppose that's true, but in fact, until last year, I watched an event with that level of interest. However, during the race, it is an undeniable fact that every gaze in the place is directed at this competition. If it were someone like Ryoma, who is confident in his speed, wants to stand out, that's one thing. But for someone like me, who was well true with the pan-eating race for 2 years straight, it's quite a lot of pressure. Especially this year. Wait. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Can't remember if I read this one. I did something might be interesting, but I'll mention that later. Well, isn't it fine? Whether you cry or laugh, this really is the last one. That last one part sounds meaningful, and I particularly dislike it. You're surprisingly bad at letting things go. Well, your time was decent enough, so just accept it. There's tons of guys at my level. Just pick Kunihiko or someone as usual. Mate. Then what on earth is he doing? Well, you kinda get it, don't you? So, Kunihiko is doing the bread eating race. Even when biting into the pan, will he still have that cool face? Kunihiko jumps for pan with a face like a nomas. It's what I did until last year, so I feel bad, but... what a cruel guy. Laughing. No, I mean, come on. I get it though. Knowing him, he might even be practicing jumping seriously. Do you think I would? Just like with the handouts, does this guy have some skill for erasing this person and sneaking up? Wondering how long he had been listening, I turn around at the voice to find Kunihiko standing right behind me. As usual, he has a cool face that makes it impossible to tell what he's thinking. But is that right? Will he jump with his face? Yeah. I hurriedly tightened my mouth, which was about to slacken. Yo, Kuni-chan. So, I decided to support you in the bread eating race, camera in hand. Don't say that. Mataku. I thought I've known her for a long time, but Akino's actions are still unpredictable. Kunihiko sent me a friendly, bitter smile, as if to say, we both have it rough. I'd rather you than approve that unpredictable person volunteering me on her own, though. I wanted you to fulfill your obligation to participate before complaining. When you say that... Momiji wouldn't do this just to harass me. She probably has her reasons. Tabun. Well, shogunai. I'll do my best, while imagining you desperately biting into pan. Not you too, Kay. Sighing, he lets out a deep, deep sigh. It seems he is aware his character and the pan-eating contest are a mismatch. In a sense, he's more pitiful than me. Mataku, you look yada yada. You look quite amused, but I don't think you're in a position to laugh at others, Kay. After all, a certain result is expected of you. Oi, isn't that a bit Kuni-chan-like? I know you want to change the subject, but putting foul pressure on him too is a foul, isn't it? He's not you, Harasaki. Regardless of the content of the competition, he has a reason to worry about how others see him. That kind of talk, huh? Ryoma clasped his hands as if realizing something and listened to me. With that phrasing, any idiot would probably arrive at the same conclusion unwittingly. Sakura-chan is in Class A too, right? Then yeah, you gotta do your best. That's bad. When you put it that way, I'm indeed on the same team as Sakura, and I suppose that could be one reason to try hard, but honestly, no matter which team she's on, it doesn't make a big difference to me. Regardless of the class, Sakura is bound to focus on me. That's not just because it's Sakura and me. If it's Kazuku, you'd be conscious of them to some extent. Your Imoto's existence is old news for you, Kei. If anything, the times you can avoid being conscious of her seem fewer. I won't deny it, because I can't. And then, what are these other eyes Kuni-chan is talking about? Your Imoto's classmates. No, I don't really care about Sakura's classmate though. Given my position, I'm at least acquainted with the kids who are friendly with Sakura. But aside from Karen-chan, the reality is, I can barely match faces to names, and I have rarely even spoken to them. The depth of the relationship isn't an issue. The important thing is that you are her Nissan she boasts about. Is there something bad about me being her Nissan? You'll be closely judged. What kind of running does Sakura-chan's boast-worthy Oni-chan do, basically? Sokka. Sakura's not at all ashamed of being what you call an Oni-chan kid. Isn't that basically a brocon, I guess? Anyway, the translation is kind of inconsistent, maybe. Unless they have a very specific term for, like, but it's basically like a brocon, right? Anyway. In fact, she seems to take pride in it. So their classmate, or rather, probably the majority of people she's acquainted with, Sakura is synonymous with brocon. Just like I'm synonymous with siscon to these guys. And somebody, that's a matter of your Imoto's face, I suppose. The kind that arises in places completely unknown to the Imoto herself. Sakura's face. I hadn't thought deeply about such things, but certainly as her only blood relative, very important, guys, very important to remember this. That kind of responsibility might follow me around. You should have a roundabout way of speaking. Basically get results so Sakura-chan can boast about her Nissan with her chest high, right? Well, simply put, that's about it. The two of them put their hands on my shoulder, though I couldn't tell if they were cheering me or just enjoying my misery. After telling you to stay away from your Imoto during lunch break, I feel somewhat bad saying this, but keep distance. And this are two different things. We didn't tell you to get along badly or anything. That was just about having a little patience for Sakura-chan's future. That's true. Well, maybe pushing yourself a little isn't such a bad thing. Whether it's the relay or how you usually interact, for your Imoto's sake, indeed. Like I said earlier, I really think it's the kind of time now. There's no need to think deeply about your relationship with your Imoto right here and now. Anyway, what's the deal with the relay? I need you to do your best for my share too, okay? Yeah. Even if you say that, like Ryoma said, the scale of the event is large, and it's a highlight, but except for a select few, it's not a competition where individuals stand out. Unless I pass a bunch of people in one go, that is. What do you expect me? The pass what the fuck fit fastest in the class to do. I really hate how the sentence gonna breaks us. So anyway, who knows? Anyway, you should give it your all. Oops. Well then, see you later. With a daring smile, Kunihiko ran off in response to a call from far behind. Watching his light-footed run, I can't help but feel he's far more suited for this than I am. That guy. And then, maybe he was just embarrassed about the pan-eating race. Or maybe he just wanted to complain. I thought that's all there is to it, but he did seem pretty worn out. It seems certain that he really hates participating in the pan-eating race, so I guess we both just had to steel ourselves. But regarding Sakura-chan, I agree with what he said too. Are you still gonna run away even after this? I told you. It's decided, so it can't be helped. I can't guarantee the results though. Honto? Honto? Are all my friends expert at raising their presents or what? Grin, turning around. A beaming smile was waiting for me. Good, good. It was worth volunteering you in your place. We're grateful. Momiji nods as if satisfied by herself. Yada yada. How serious is she? What do you mean worth volunteering you? Seriously. Because you were sleeping. If I left you alone, you would have ended up in the pan-eating race, you know? That's why I was sleeping. That's the last one, so you could just jump for the pond at the edge, and ending it like that would be lonely and uncool, right? No way, no way. Hey, that's rude to the guys participating in the pan-eating race. Like Kuni-chan. At Ryoma's murmur fired without a moment's delay, Momiji burst out laughing with a loud... Don't make me remember weird things, Harasaki-kun. As I thought, she also had some thoughts about the combination of Kunihiko and the pan-eating race. But still, Momiji, calling it weird things is terrible too. I'm not saying Kunihiko-kun is weird, okay? It's just that a girl making fun of Kunihiko-kun's pan-eating. Remembering whatever joke that was, she crouched down on the spot, her shoulders shaking minutely. Now that she mentions it, and there was a girl hopping up and down with a weird face during break time, just for participating in the pan-eating race to be treated as a joke even by girls. Thinking it's probably because of his character, I suddenly seized by a touch of anxiety, wondering if I was treated the same way until last year. Perhaps sensing my feelings, Ryoma tapped my shoulder and said, "Well, be grateful to Akino. No matter the result, you'll look cooler than eating pan. Sakura-chan will be happy too, so just take it easy." Indeed, compared to the pan eating, or rather at least compared to Kunihiko, maybe the relay was the better choice. How long are you going to keep laughing? Look, everyone seems to be participating. Let's go. Mate. Resigning myself, I practically dragging the still laughing Momiji towards where the other members were waiting for practice. For Sakura, and above all, for myself. I had to try hard enough not to become a laughing stock like that. In the end, I ended up running seriously for the remaining time, dragged along by the athletic club guys. I really shouldn't have said that. After saying it, I regret even opening my mouth to speak. Feeling something rise from the back of my throat, I sat down right there. Hey, oi, daijoubu? When I waved my hand back, Ryoma sat down on the spot while laughing. I waved my hand solely because I didn't want to open my mouth, but it seems the message got across. Every time I inhale, my chest complains of dull, crushing pain, and my throat of a sticky, burning discomfort. A member of the Go Home Club, suddenly trying to move around by the same standards as the athletic club guys, was an impossible story to begin with. But by that logic, pathetic, really? Aren't you just a little too out of shape? This guy, who is also in the Go Home Club. Oh, Kei-chan, daijoubu? And her, and her, who should be living a life not much different from mine, being energetic. I can't explain it. I guess it just means I fundamentally lack stamina, though these two seem energetic beyond the concept of stamina in general. Maybe they are inappropriate as comparisons for me in the first place. Mitanatori, but does running a little during PE time not really have any meaning? Demo, Kei-chan is improved this time. The most amazing, sugoi. Fuck, I should stop that. If attracting guys improve their times like that, will be a problem. Mine just means I have many problems. Conversely means I had the most room to improve my time before the real thing. I'm praising you, so you should just be happy about it. To me, it just feels like pressure to practice more. Track field, or rather, the species known as sportsmen, probably think differently from me. I'm unlikely to find any meaning in pushing myself that far just to improve my time. Still, when they get all happy together over something like that, I just feel troubled. You worry too much. If you run with all your might just for the real thing, that's enough really. Nah. Akino, isn't this where you should be encouraging him to do his best? That wouldn't be effort. It'll be endurance or overworking. It's fine. Kei-chan tries hard when he needs to, even without anyone saying anything. Nah. Momiji sat down right next to me, hugging her knees to her chest and peering into my eyes with her cheek buried against her knees. Does she seriously believe that I'm the type who does it when it counts? If so, that might be the biggest pressure of all for me. However, to me who couldn't reply, Momiji didn't say any demanding words and instead, you ended up like this because you tried hard today, right? Are you okay, daijoubu? As if affirming my silence, she smiled and rubbed my back, thanks to you. Honta, that's good. That pat. She gave me one particularly gentle stroke, smiled, and that was it. This feeling of reluctance or loneliness is simply due to the physical loss of her hand's warmth. Surely. Well, let's go. Momiji stood up vigorously, as if hopping, went around to where I had averted my gaze and held out her hand. Like I said, I'm fine. While saying that, I grasped the small hand offered to me. Momiji pulled my hand while laughing amusedly. However, I can't really have Momiji's slender arms pull me up. Using the momentum, I stood up vigorously and then... Kokoro senpai! Ah! This time I ended up jumping. It's really just one thing after another like this. Karen-chan was standing right behind me. I like how do you remove the UI? You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna figure this out right now. I like how Karen-chan looks like. She has that. That's an interesting way to tie your hair. It looks like fucking bandages or whatever. Anyway. It seems not so much that everyone is sneaking up on me, but that I'm just zoned out. Do I always make a scary face? Kawaii ko. Huh? Because it's been happening continuously since yesterday. You getting surprised when you see my face. It's true that between yesterday and today, I might have been a bit awkward towards her. However, perhaps because I was conscious of having been seen in a bad moment, this reaction of hers was unexpected. Did I really react so exaggeratedly that she had to worry about it? If so, I've done something inexcusable. Gomen, it's definitely not that I'd find you kawaii or anything. Yeah. You were just spacing out like usual, weren't you? Urusai! I lowered my gaze and kicked the ground aimlessly. It looks like I'm admitting a real misclaim, but it's better than dealing with that smirking face. Yesterday and today, right? And then a smile intruded into my lower line of sight. Ah, Soka, your head is full of thoughts about Sakura, isn't it? Even you, Karen-chan? Well, of course I'm worried. It would be rare to find someone who doesn't care about when a Kazoku member is sick. Though, whether it's normal or worries so much that you don't notice people approaching is another matter. I'm not aware of it, but is that really what it is? There's the word unreliable, then case somewhat, when it comes to Sakura-chan. But he wasn't making that big of a fuss yesterday or today. I might have been noisier. This isn't just her covering for me. It was Momiji, rather than me, who was strongly restrained Sakura when she insisted that she was fine this morning. Akino's fine. It's Kei who's the problem. What is it? Say it clearly. Clearly. Normally, opposite-sex siblings put some distance, but between them at some point, or even if they're close, it's more like a friend feeling. With you guys, it doesn't feel like that kind of pure sibling love. You don't look alike either. Huh? That's just because your mind is Roy. I don't think that's particularly strange, but it's true that you are surprisingly close. Before I could finish, I was interrupted by Karen-chan's murmur. Is it really that surprising? It is! Yup, yeah! All three answered instantly, almost simultaneously. I've been told this countless times before, so it's not like I'm unaware. However... See that? Even you can't argue back, even when Karen-chan says it, right? He's right. If it were just Ryoma and Momiji, that's one thing. But being told so even, like Karen-chan, leaves me no room for rebuttal. However, she was also the one to save me from this hateful smirking face. Oh no, I didn't mean it in a bad way. As I always say, I think it's wonderful for siblings to be close. Besides, giggle. I understand well the feeling of wanting to spoil Sakura. Her gentle gaze as she smiled and said that reminded me of the look Momiji directs at me and Sakura. Even if Momiji and I graduate, if this girl stays by her side, Sakura will surely be fine. Suddenly, I thought of that. What the hell? Am I the bad guy again? Well, I think Sakura-chan is cute kawaii too. And if she fawned on me like that, like she does with Kei, I might end up spoiling her. But she just won't warm up to me or Kuni-chan. You haven't been telling her things behind our backs, have you? I haven't told her anything. Just the truth as it is. She's warmed up to Harasaki-kun and Sera-kun more than others. Basically, that child is bad with men other than Kei-chan. That's true. She hardly talks to boys in the classroom either. Please, don't worry. It's not that she partly dislikes you or anything. But they aren't exactly close either. I could sense that from Karen-chan's tone as she tried to smooth things over. But that was something I had vaguely realized myself. Also, sad as it is, I can understand to some extent the feelings of the boys who keep their distance from Sakura. She's quiet, untalkative, and doesn't assert herself. She doesn't approach boys herself, so it's harder to close the distance compared to other girls. On top of that, she tends to miss class, so there are fewer points of contact than usual. What on earth would a guy with no business with her talk about if he approaches a girl like that? If it were me, I probably wouldn't make contact unless forced into a situation when I had to. Besides, even without forcing themselves to deal with Sakura, there are plenty of other girls in class, like Karen-chan for example. Sakura-chan seems like she's popular with the guys of that persuasion, so there should be plenty trying to hit on her. Is it you getting in the way after all? Don't say I'm in the way. And what's that persuasion? Guys like you, basically. Lollicons. Say what? Say what you want. But, well, even assuming I am in that way, if they back up just because of that, their feelings over Sakura are only that strong. Besides, even I understand. If Sakura truly wished for that kind of relationship with someone, I had no right to do anything about it. But now is not the time yet. It's just that. However, When that day eventually comes, will I really be able to cheer for Sakura from the bottom of my heart? Of course. And there was certainly a part of me that couldn't say that with certainty. Senpai, you don't have to look so worried. It's just some minor pests. I'll take responsibility to swat them down. Karen-chan waved her hand with a whoosh and a smile. She said it jokingly, but I felt like if anyone did something carelessly in front of her, a merciless slap would really come flying. Kawaii, anyone volunteering to be Sakura-chan's Karashi is gonna need quite the level and resolve. Looks like. There must be someone worthy of Sakura. It Kana-chan lowers the hurdle. I'll just get rejected in the secondary screening anyway. That's true. The destination of their gazes as they led together was me. Apparently, I'm in charge of secondary screening. I might actually end up in that position, but it feels unpleasant, like being a Tosa being mean to her daughter's Kanato, Koibito. Secondary screening, huh? Well, keep the overprotectiveness in moderation. You can't stay clinging to each other forever. Or can you, in your case? Like hell we can. I just can't imagine you two dealing with someone else and leaving each other aside. Keep the stupidity to just Ryoma. I don't know about Sakura, but as for me, well, I don't have a Kanajo or anyone I like right now. But that doesn't mean I want to be claimed to Sakura forever. No. I know this is a rude question, but do you have someone you're seeing, senpai? Okay? With a Kanajo? Have you ever seen this guy talk to a girl other than Akino and Sakura-chan? Oh no, the look on her face, oh shit! Oh no, the look on her face, it's over, it's fucking over. That is, sometimes. Kana-chan glances me sideways, or speaking in an apologetic tone. Apparently was recognized as a guy with no luck with women. That was just, him reluctantly going along with girls in the class because of the situation, right? Reluctantly is a bit much. I just don't do it gleefully like you. Don't make things up. You're making things up yourself. I'm just a nice young man with gender equality and good social skills. Wearing a creepy smile, probably intended to look refreshing, Ryoma put his arm around my shoulder. I'm already not feeling well, so why do I have to have my shoulder held by this guy? Even if you intend that, it doesn't look that way to those around you. It's not equality. Baka, that's just prejudice. The prejudice of unpopular men. I'm very resistant to calling that correct, but as far as I know, he's indeed a frivolous guy who loves women, but he doesn't particularly slight men either. Besides, as he says, I think he just wants to have fun with everyone. A nice young man. Parts I won't admit even if I die though. But true feelings are only such because they aren't shown on the outside. Now, how should I retort? As I was pondering, Momiji interjected in a rarely reserved tone. Maybe you should be a little careful. There are quite a few girls who feel that way, like the vibe doesn't match, or you lack delicacy, something like that. Yeah. Honestly, I thought that the bad impression I had of Ryoma was mostly jealousy, or rather a mix of admiration and repulsion. But apparently the prejudice against this guy is stronger than either he or I thought. I wish people would just say that directly. If we don't match, I'll make an effort to match. If I'm really annoying, I can at least not make noise nearby. Perhaps silently sensing things that are hard for women to say out loud is precisely what being sensitive is. Saying that, Karen-chan directed at a meaningful smile at me for some reason. What did she mean by this? Is this perhaps a dig at me? I'm out to shopping yesterday. She seemed a bit unnatural when we parted ways, and contrary to expectations, Kunihiko found out about it. I thought Karen-chan was mature unlike the others, so she'd be fine. Maybe that wasn't the case. Regardless of what she actually thought, shouldn't I have considered this first? Precisely because she is who she is? Maybe the reason I'm always told I have no luck with women is because I just regret things later, like this without learning my lesson. I think that's a bit different from being sensitive. Well, it's not my intention to make girls feel bad, so I'll make an effort, right? Well, even if it was roundabout, being told that by Karen-chan leaves me no choice but to answer like that. I'm expecting great things. Karen-chan's response was almost strangely cheerful. You just know. As the conversation reached a pause and broke off, I casually looked up at the clock, Taketo at the school building. Apparently, we talked too long. There was less than a minute left until the bell for class. With a hurried goodbye to Karen-chan, we dashed toward the classroom as if finishing up our practice. I'm gonna end it here. Moderate exercise apparently brings comfortable sleep. However, oh, hi, okay, Chad. You slept well again today. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. It's been a while. All right, that's it for Sakura Musubi. I don't know if we're gonna get back to Apollo Crisis by tomorrow. I think we could. I need to do a quality check, but the translation and proofreading translations are done, but the proofreading is it's doing some proofreading pass right now. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's it for Sakura Musubi. Don't know if we're gonna continue Sakura Musubi tomorrow or whenever, but if it's not Apollo Crisis tomorrow, it's Sakura Musubi. Anyway, I hope you guys are watching, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Ciao.
Good.
私くらいの年ってさ、もっと刺激的な毎日があるって思ってたのに。
もうつまんなくて死にそう。
ちょっと聞いてんの？せめてあんたが宇宙人だったらいいのに。
テレビアニメ「涼宮ハルヒの憂鬱」DVD シリーズ発売。
バカみたい。
召喚に従い参上した。と王、あなたが私のマスターか。
Fate, stay night.